Welcome back to the ScreenSavers. We're continuing our conversation with the legendary members of the Home Brew Computer Club. I called it a users group, but Woz pointed out quite correctly, you weren't users, you were creators. There was nothing, you couldn't just sit down and use somebody's computer. If you wanted to do it, you had to make it. Tell me about the Sol 20 a little bit, Bob. What was that all about?
Well, first of all, the idea for the company that I was with came in the very first computer meeting when I saw number 3 and saw the documentation and decided to build our own. It was only a few months later we decided to build our own computer.
Yeah.
And
you named it after Sol, which
we named it after Les Solomon, actually, the editor of Popular Electronics, because we figured by bribing him that way,
he put it on the cover.
Make sure it got on, and it actually worked. So it was one of our successes. We were probably a year late. In the break, we were saying that a year was like a lifetime, and we were actually a year late delivering those computers. It wasn't until about the same time as the Apple II that the Sol 20 actually came out. But it was one of the very first computers that was completely integrated in one package, so that if you had the monitor on top of the TV, and it had its built-in keyboard memory, everything in there, you could just plunk it down on your desk and start using it. That is assuming you knew how to program.
I didn't realize.
Or you had a private and paper tape.
I didn't realize the connection because I was also working for Les and writing for Popular Electronics. But would you realize that we need a new computer club? I mean, things have gotten so static. And even a Mac has gotten hard to use. They're complicated.
Right.
One of the reasons why I like the little machines is that the big machines have gotten too complicated to use. And now,
but you always said that.
Yeah, and I still say it.
You're still saying it.
He's still Absolutely.
Right. And he's still right. And he's still right. Now, Harry, you started Crememco.
Yes.
And now, at the beginning, I said it's still going. It's going concern still?
Yes, although we sold it to a large company, so it's been acquired and it's kind of lost some of its identity, but it's still a going concern.
I remember those Crememcos, S100s. Oh, those beautiful cages. Those were great. Those were great computers. Lee is still, I know, doing a lot with computers. It's still the comic, but also still spreading the computer gospel everywhere around the world.
Yeah, I see an industry that will develop in the third world and the developing world, extending the telecommunication system through wireless, called last kilometer.
Right.
Systems can be built using open source software and 802.11 that are cheap enough so that the people who are using them can actually own them and operate them. And that puts them not only into the local telecommunications grid, but also out onto the internet, because many of them will have relatives and friends living around the world, and hooking them up, they know they need it, and it's going to be fun doing it.
Steve is doing wireless too. I know you're interested in the wireless end. We shan't mention
a
what
lot
you're
of the world's
doing.
doing wireless these days.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So you're still in the computer industry, would you say? I love baiting him.
I wouldn't say it. I'm in. There's other industries related.
So after the Apple I, the Apple II, and of course the world changed. I mean, that really kind of commercialized the thing and took off like crazy. Did that change it for you guys? You feel like that? Oh no, it's not ours anymore. It's the world's. Or did you?
Well, we started out too. The early products came with a computer and a programming language, just like the ones at the hobby computers.
Not so different.
Yeah. And somebody had to sit down and read a little book and learn, oh, I can write a couple simple programs. We made it very simple back in those days, but then if you had a need, you fulfilled it by writing a program. Today, you're told, here's what your needs are and here's what the solutions are, and you buy it from us. And
Alan, when you were working on it, did you kind of know that this is how important this was and what a big revolution this was?
No, I don't think I did. I didn't see that. I just saw it as sort of instant gratification.
Because you'd come from designing big computers.
And I ended up there too.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
And as we mentioned, Jeff is still fighting the fight to make these darn things a little bit easier to use.
But at least people are still using Macintoshes. I can't believe it. It's been 25 years since they were released, and people are still using Macintosh.
Well,
it's wonderful.
Speaking for myself, we love our Macintoshes. And thank you, all of you, for the difference that you made. You changed the world. We are all very grateful to the Home Brew Computer Club. I know you guys are doing it for fun and because you loved it. But as beneficiaries of your work, we really thank you. It was really an amazing revolution that started in 1975 in Menlo Park. Stay where you are. We're going to come back, say goodbye when the ScreenSavers continue. You know, I thought I'd bring these young guys in here with us old guys in the background. What year were you born?
77.
Kevin Rose. 77?
72.
So you can see that these guys, he was a baby. He wasn't even born when all this began. But you were saying about Marsh that what Yoshi's doing is not so very different.
No, I think he should get the Homebrew Club Medal of Honor for his work on
For the
Xbox.
mods.
That was exactly the spirit.
I think
of
we
what
have a quorum here and should vote on that.
Yeah, I can't do the same as Lee, though. I have to say.
I'll propose him for the Strip Phillips Screw Award for finding a use for something previously thought useless. Now, that's what I propose.
The Strip Phillips Screw Award. You haven't mounted on a little plaque there or anything like
I'm
that?
sure
You
we can
find-
arrange that.
Well, talking about 70s, and it was in 1966 that I built my first graphic input device.
Wow, wow. You know, it's really, which was a mouse-like thing, or?
It was built on a big drawing board, and it had crossed wires and 10-turn pots and things.
Yeah.
But I needed to input. I wanted to input music.
Bob was saying we're kind of stagnated. Nothing great's happened in 12 years or so.
Evolutionary is what it is.
Evolutionary. Where's the next big thing coming from? Anybody? Suggestion?
From me, of course.
Jeff Raskin. Does he have an award for that, Lee Felsenstein?
No, Raskin's his own category.
Well, there's so many other people who are part of the Homebrew Club, and I wish we could have gotten you all on the stage. For those who are watching at home, we'll do this again. You come back. We want you all, right? Gordon and everybody else should come back, and we'll do this again because it's really fun to have you. Pretty neat, huh?
It's cool stuff.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We thank you for joining us on this edition of the ScreenSavers. Kevin Rose, Yoshi, we're going to be back next week. We've got a great week of shows, but it's just nice once in a while to take a trip back in time through memory lane with Lee Felsenstein and Harry Garland, and I got to get everybody in right order. Bob Marsh, Jeff Raskin, Alan Baum, and Steve Wozniak. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the ScreenSavers. Night-night.